We need to talk about the mixed reviews of the Denver Broncos offensive line.
Let's get to talking.
Let me just ask you, without looking at numbers or stats, because we have some analytical stuff that we'll get into, just like your human football eyes, you've watched 3 football games, how would you summarize the Broncos offensive line?
Not as consistent as they should be all around. Not just pass blocking, but also run blocking as well. That's what I'm looking at. Is like, can you put it all together? You're the second highest paid unit in the league. And yet at times it looks like when you're protecting the pass, you're doing a good job. But when it's time to run the ball on first and second down, you're either getting loss of yards or it's stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain. And then sometimes it's like, it opens up. So it's very inconsistent. And I don't know if that's the offensive line. I don't know if that's the blocking scheme or if it's just like not being able to get in a rhythm because there's so many damn 3 and outs. You know, it's a little bit of a mixture of both. But when you're talking about the offensive line, it's just very inconsistent all around, Zach. That's my take on it. What about you?
I would co-sign what you just said. I mean, sometimes it looks like, even in a couple of the runs, the explosive runs, it's like, wow, Ben Powers, pulling from left to right and springing R.J. Harvey in week number 1, creating that massive hole for J.K. Dobbins in week number 1 as well, capping off that same drive. Running off Bowles on the left side this past week with Dobbins with some help downfield from Pat Bryant, looks good. But on a down-to-down basis, I'm not impressed, particularly, and it sounded like you were going down this road too, particularly with the run blocking. Just mano-a-mano and just winning up front. Oftentimes we'll walk away from these games and say, did we feel him? Despite the stat sheet, there'd be games where Michael Porter Jr. had, 15, 16 points. But did you actually feel him? When you needed to, or was it empty calories and the stats?
That's how you do even with the running back position, right? Like you look at a running back. Let's say Melvin Gordon has 100 yards, but did you feel that? For me as well. Look at you smiling.
I have to. Sorry.
Did you feel me throughout the game, or was it just that one play I had where it was a 65-yard touchdown, and now I have 80 yards on the day on 10 carries, but we know that I had a 60-yard touchdown, but the rest of those carries may have been 1 or 2 yards. That's not feeling a running back. And for offensive line, like you just said, are you moving these defensive linemen? Are you getting up to the second level? Are you looking like the Detroit Lions going up against the Baltimore Ravens?
What a thing of beauty.
Monday night.
What a thing of beauty. Or really, if we're doing this job in Indianapolis following the Week 2 Colts win, we're coming in there and saying the Colts just basically what we said, just the inverse of it. Because I was like, that defensive front 7 got pushed around by those guys from Indianapolis. I have not felt that presence yet, especially in the run game with this group. And I don't know why. I don't know why we don't. And it feels like things have been flipped. And I'm going to talk out the other side of my mouth because I screamed to you for 9 months about the lack of explosive run plays. Yeah. And now we have 3 of them in 3 games. But yet, still on a drive-by-drive sequence, it's like, why can't they get the run game going? And then they'll pop one, and it masks or reshapes the yards per carry and stuff.
It begins with having an identity as an offense, which is like, okay, find your identity as an offense, but then it goes deeper. Identity as a blocking scheme. Are you an outside zone team? We talk about this all the time. Are you a power team? Now, of course, it seems like Sean wants to do a mixture of both. But in order to do that, you have to get good at one of those blocking schemes. It seems like they want to be an outside zone team, so let's run it a little bit more because it will set up the play action. That's what you're looking for, right? If you're Sean, you want to pass the ball, well, you have to get the outside zone going. In order to do that, you have to stick with it long enough. In order to stick with it long enough, you have to be on the field long enough. So I think a lot of these issues, Zach, have to do with not being on the field long enough to sustain and not sustaining drives to get in a rhythm. Like for Bo Nix in the quarterback position, everything is about rhythm.
Yeah.
Everything is about getting into the groove and the flow of things, understanding these linebackers and defensive linemen and what they're going to do throughout the game. You start to kind of play long enough, you start to see tendencies. Now it's like, okay, this next time I know what he's going to do. Let's trap him here, and now there's going to be a big-time gash later on throughout the game. It's setting up big plays throughout the game, but it starts with sticking with the run, having an identity within the run game, and you go from there. But also, it's the double teams too. It's the up front with Ben Powers. It's up front with Quinn Miners. What are you guys doing to help this running back out? What are you guys doing to help this offense out?
Well, I'll just say this, and this is not very, scientific. When I watch the Broncos offensive line through 3 games, I would not know that some of these guys have all-pro status in their past, and I would not know they're the second highest paid offensive line in football. I wouldn't walk away with that conclusion. On certain plays, singular plays, they can look the part, but it's the NFL, and I would expect on singular plays once in a while them to look the part. But man, out of
all the linemen, which one in the last 3 games has frustrated you the most? Has been maybe the most inconsistent out of all of them? We know one's very, very consistent right now.
You're talking about Bowles?
And talk about GB, the GB zone. He is doing a phenomenal job.
He is.
Pass blocking, doing better in the run game. I mean, he just has it going on. He's in a rhythm. He's in a groove, and it's fun to watch.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of him just because of just being his teammate
Sure.
and knowing what he's been through.
Sure.
And the consistency from first he was being consistently bad to really freaking consistently good. And it's insane just the turnaround and what he is doing. And he's just in a groove, and it's fun to watch.
Well, to add on to the point that you just made, there's a combined score out there between Pro Football Focus's offensive line grades and also taking into account a completely separate outlet, ESPN's pass block win rate, and just averaging the 2 scores from these 2 different outlets. Garrett Bowles is one, he has allowed the lowest pressure rate among left tackles with at least 100 protection snaps this season, allowing pressure just 1.9% of the time. But that combined score for the offensive line, they are grading out as the best pass blocking team in the entire NFL. But to go back to your question, so that's healthy, what I just said, but the run defense, not so much. Man, I don't know. I haven't thought about that, and I really haven't set that. This conversation for me is just based on gut reaction of watching these games 2 different times. I haven't really sat there and watched just the offensive line, to be quite honest with you, but I will say this. I would not know, if I were to phrase it the same way I just did 2 or 3 minutes ago, I would not know through 3 games that Quinn Miners was first team All-Pro. I just wouldn't know that. How about you? Who have you been?
And it's, I look at the game differently sometimes, Zach, because I was a running back. So
Sure.
The first thing that goes to my mind after a run is like, what did the offensive line do? Not blaming them, but what did they do to help me out? Or what could I have done to help them out?
Can I just
Go ahead.
Can I maybe guess your answer?
Yes.
Are you going to say Ben Powers?
No, I'm not going to say Ben, although Ben has struggled a little bit.
Because it seems like a lot of times the run is getting blown up on the left side of the line.
When it's being blown up like that, that means that the center, because they're doing a lot of pulling. And when you have somebody that gets blown up in the backfield on a pull, that means the center is not getting to that defensive tackle soon enough. So you could say Wattenberg as a guy that's like, hey, like, look, man, you have to be a little bit more stout in the run game. But the guy I'm thinking of is McGlinchey. Because every time I look around, McGlinchey is always on the ground, whether it's a run play or a pass play. And at some point, it's like McGlinchey does a lot of talking. But you have to also do a lot of moving, too. If you're going to talk as offensive lineman, I need to see you moving these pass rushers out of the way. I need to see you getting to that second level. That's how you have more explosive runs. Although McGlinchey is not doing a horrible job, he is not as consistent as he should be as a veteran right tackle. So for McGlinchey, if he's listening to this, it's like, hey, go out there and do your job, but you need to do it more times than not, and you have to be more consistent. Garrett Bowles is a lot more consistent than people are giving him credit for.
He's killing it right now.
That long 41-yard run from J.K. Dobbins, that was off the left side.
It was.
Majority of the more explosive plays are coming from the left side. If you're McGlinchey and you hear that, you should be offended. We should be able to run left and right. But right now, when you're running right, it's stagnated. You're getting blown up right before you can get going. That's an issue. Mike McGlinchey needs to start moving people instead of just sitting there taking it.
All right.
Being real.
No, I like it. I like it, and it's something to keep an eye on here moving forward into this a young season still. Okay, Dion and the Buffs have a huge matchup this weekend for more reasons than one. That's next.